My name is Tim Ria, host of Digital Health Live here at CES 2015. We're in the back studio. There's literally 800 people in the room right on the other side of that wall. We're grabbing the hottest speakers in the world, innovators, people creating the next wave of innovation. So we've got Cedric Hutchings, who's one of the co-founders of Withings. You guys probably heard of Withings. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thanks, Tim, for inviting me.
And you came from France.
Yes, out of Paris. Yeah.
And David Cloud, you're with
National Sleep Foundation.
So the National Sleep Foundation. What's your background to get into that?
Well, we're a cause-based organization that is trying to promote sleep as a healthy behavior and to basically it's a cause to try to help people understand the relationship between sleep and their overall health.
So on stage, I was listening in, and you're mentioning kids and sleep, and they have all these new devices. What's happening there?
Well, kids, we have a lot of problems with kids, particularly our teens. They're sleeping too little, and they have a lot of distractions, and it's very difficult for us to keep track of those distracting behaviors because they're taking their devices into bed. So, frankly, we've looked at school start times. We've looked at a lot of other approaches to it, but frankly, I think the electronics is going to be the solution for us.
So there kind of can be problems and solutions, because as soon as I get my new virtual reality device, I'm up till 3 a.m. playing with it.
Well, and there's a lot of kids who are doing that as well. Gaming is a big issue, but to the extent that we can record and we can track their sleep, there's some neat technology that's in the exhibit hall here today that looks at where parents could monitor all their kids and see when they're going to bed, and also start the clock on them in terms of when it's time for them for lights out. So there's a modern version of lights out that's being enabled by tracking devices.
Yeah, it's interesting. So what's your background?
So Withings has been developing now for years connected health devices. So we've come up with a smart scale blood pressure monitor, and we've developed actual sleep sensors that's quite unique in a way that's not a wearable. And sleep is not truly about a wearable activity. So we have invented a sleep pad that goes under the mattress, and get this recording and tracking features, which is the very first step on getting some actions on how to improve our sleep and sleep quality.
And you have a watch.
Yeah, so this is Activity Pop that we've just unveiled this week at CES, which is the next step of an activity trackers. We all know about these devices that now we wear, and gets a measurement of how active we've been, how many steps, whether we have gone to a sleep or a swimming or running station. A lot of shortcomings of these devices is that they are not worn on the long term. And what's very important for these devices is that you keep using them, because that's the way change behavior. Change is positive for your health, is you use it on the long term. So with Activity Pop, we come up with an analog face watch.
Yeah, and do take a look at this, because you would not know from the look. It looks more something I want to have and wear out to dinner.
Exactly, and that's the point. It's not something that you wear it as a sensor and second thoughts as a wearable. It's a watch you keep with you that happens to have these inner dials that measure my progress toward the goals that I've been setting, be it 10K step or whatever, but then it's smartly connected with Bluetooth Low Energy, so I get all the insights, dashboard, on my smartphone. But again, it's about having a device that is an 8-month battery life, that's waterproof, that you don't have to go in the shade to read time, obvious, intuitive, but you get all these benefits, in your daily life of tracking, understanding, getting more insight on your activity and sleep quality.
Awesome. And it looks good. Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's very comfortable, and as been said earlier in the conference, these wearables, they either has to be beautiful or really seamless. They have to disappear, because it's the only way they keep helping us on the long term.
Yeah, and the magic is to get that together so they don't end up in the closet or in the drawer. So you're working on a new partnership with CEA, who produces and created CES.
Well, yeah, among the many things that they do, this is a fantastic show, and the expo showing off all of these new innovations is a great product that they have. But they also have a very substantial standards activity in which they help codify what are basically the blueprints for an industry. So we reached out to CEA and said, we think it's time for us to take what we have 50 years worth of experience looking at sleep in a laboratory environment with fairly similar digital signals, and then taking those into this new frontier of consumers, largely through sensors that are Bluetooth or in other wireless manner. But I think this is just the beginning. I think there's going to be more sensors. There's going to be less touch, and frankly, there may be some true genius, new ways of calculating sleep and quality of sleep that had never been even thought of in the laboratory.
What are you trying to get out of CES? And I think you've won some awards again this year.
Yes, we've been very excited to get this innovation awards, and actually Activity Pop has been, picked up as one of the top, 15, noticeable innovation here. So we are very excited that people get at first sight what we try to achieve, with Activity Pop is really making the activity trackers for the rest of us, beyond early adopters and geeks. So we are very excited with the feedback we have. Why we come at CES is really first, it's a launch platform for a company, our size. There is no match worldwide.
No, media uptake is 10 times anything.
Yeah, and there is no conference comparable to CES right now. It's really a time and a week where worldwide all the mass media is putting a focus on the innovation and the new offerings, and so it's very exciting to be here. We have a whole team here at CES, and we've been again using it as a launch platform. The media relationship is very important. It's very exciting to see that at a consumer electronics show we have now organization like the National Sleep Foundation, because for us, we want to be promoting that consumer techs can become more and more relevant for health management. The new way we will be all, managing our own health and relate with our doctors. So it has to happen this way, and have, common conference where we see now not only, the tech guys, but, experts in each of these, most important, of course, aspect of our lives.
So what types of organizations connect up with you, and how do you help them, and where do they go to connect up?
Historically, our organization has been led by the top scientists and clinicians who've looked at sleep for many years in the laboratory. Trying to fulfill our mission to the public, however, is much more challenging. It's much more of an awareness and education, standards, publications, those sorts of activities. But this is a brave new frontier to reach out, and even the concept of digital health, Jill, I think, did a magnificent job of identifying this as a breaking opportunity, but also bringing it together in a way it doesn't get lost within consumer electronics. This is a giant show. I've been going to trade shows for 30 years. I've never seen anything like it. And the enthusiasm is just fantastic.
You literally can get lost. We were like last year. I'm glad they moved everything here, because last year we're running around we're in the Audi booth. Where are we? Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate your time. Hey, that's Cedric, Withings, really cool company. I was by your booth. We're going to go back out there and check it out again. David, I think it's awesome what you're doing. And what's your website?
NationalSleepFoundation.org. We also just launched a new lifestyle website called sleep.org.
Sleep.org. Right on.
So do I surprise you with Withings.com?
But it's, how do you spell it?
WIATHINGS.
Withings. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much.